G'day, Trooper Cody and Steve, and you can see Cody just then was examining the contents of the Light Horse haversack. I made a video a little while ago about the haversack showing you how small it was. I got a request from someone to say what was the contents of that haversack, and then I forgot all about that and they very kindly reminded me. So if you remember, nothing like the modern army backpack that carries a couple of tons of gear. This was the 1914 haversack issued to the blokes. What did it contain? It had in it a little calico bag, and that bag contained your paybook, and as well as the paybook, it contained very important documents, one of which you were issued was loose lips, sink ships, basically. Be careful what you say. And the other one was all about health. Keep your feet clean, look after your feet, and don't go with prostitutes. Basically, that's what that was all about. And of course, your paybook, very important. The other sort of things that you would find was a daily issue. So for each day you would have got a good old tin of bully beef. You can still buy this today, still with the same key on the bottom, and if you go out and buy one, you can taste what the guys had, bully beef. They also got a little tin of cheese. That's a daily issue. You've got a daily issue in a paper envelope of tea, a separate issue of sugar. That would have been in the envelope. They had some sort of container for matches. They had to be able to shave, so they had a mirror, but no 7 years bad luck with that one, Cody, because it's metal, can't break, metal mirror. Shaving brush, razor, a bone, comb, no plastic or Bakelite back then, so that's a little comb. They had a housewife, which was issued a long strip with compartments in it, and that kept things in it like your cutlery. It kept a sewing kit, so you had buttons, needle, thread, you could patch things. You would have had spare bootlace, a cleaning cloth, a patch for cleaning your rifle. You didn't need in the Light Horse to be carrying a plate or a mug or anything in your haversack, because of course your Dixie, your plate and your cooker, that was all carried on the saddle in your Dixie, and your enamel mug either hung off your Dixie on the saddle or with that little strap. You'll see a lot of period photos, the guys in the Middle East, they've just got their mug hanging off the side of their haversack. No need for any first aid equipment in the haversack, because that was carried in a separate specific pouch inside your tunic. Of course, what's the most important thing I've forgotten? And that's the hardtack. Hardtack, ship's biscuit. It had been around since long before Christ, because there are evidence the Egyptian army used hardtack, the Roman army used hardtack, the Crusaders used it when they went to, I better not talk about that, anyway, the Crusaders used it. But really it is said that modern hardtack was invented in the 1600s in England. It is simply flour, water and salt in a mix, baked for many hours at a low temperature, and it goes absolutely rock hard. It lasts for years, if not decades, and if you tried to bite one, you'd break your teeth, because you weren't supposed to bite it. You did two things. You either used a tool to break it up, and of course in the World War I, the diggers used their 303 rifle butts to smash it up, or you soaked it and got it into a paste and then you ate it. Wasn't a lot of goodness in it, but it was a mainstay of the troops across all armies, really. The thing about how hard it was, and how long it lasted is that there are museums all around the world, in America from the US Civil War, but if we're talking Light Horse, in the Australian War Memorial, they have got the hardtack biscuits, which was also called an Anzac wafer and an Anzac tile. They have got them where they have been written on and used as a postcard and sent home from the Middle East. Families got them. Decades later, they have dedicated these Light Horse Anzac wafers to the Australian War Memorial. You can see Dear Mum, Dear Sue, and where the guys have written. And of course the most famous one is the Anzac trooper who had a photograph taken of him in the Middle East. He had the photograph set in the middle of his piece of hardtack. He's then taken coloured thread and he's sewn around the frame, and he has made the most beautiful picture frame from a ship's biscuit with his photo in the middle, and that today is in the Australian War Memorial. You should go and look it up, it's well worth seeing. So when you hear about the guys making hand grenades from jam tins, that's because the jam tins were much bigger. The guys didn't carry the jam on them, the tins were too big. I hope you've enjoyed this video about the contents, the day-to-day contents of the Light Horse Troopers 1914, 1918. If you did, click like, make a comment, please subscribe. Thanks very much. Cheers.